Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Soul Dragon here, back with more Fate Stay Night Remaster, where today we are going to deal with the fact that the team Shiro Rin has lost all of their servants and are technically eliminated from the Grail War. But they are stubborn and they've got some gumption, so they are going to proceed and try and recruit some help from the one, the only, Ilya. But we will see how that goes today. But before we do that, please, for me, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, comment below if you've got anything to say, subscribe to my channel, it will always be helpful, and follow me on Twitch so you know when I go live. But, yeah, we can officially begin here. Hello, Infinity Lord, welcome to the stream. How be things, Looks like we are starting off day 13 with an interlude called Princess Media. Let's see what this is about. I imagine it's a bit of her backstory, but, you know, semantics. The day ticks over. 13 versus Berserker is the name of the day. Summer Scotty 5510. Nice. That's pretty solid already. I mean, just the last skill being at 10 means you get a 50% battery, but the first two skills being at 5 are pretty solid too. Congrats, Infinity Lord, congrats. Alrighty. She ponders in the dark by herself. It has already been a day since she attacked the church and killed the priest. That killed is in quotation marks, by the way. It has been a day since she declared that she will find it no matter where it is hidden, if it exists. It may not be the case for other servants, but there is no way someone as versed in magecraft as her cannot find a holy relic like the Holy Grail. Then there is only one answer. The Holy Grail never existed in this church to start with. Letting out a small sigh, she puts a finger on her temple. When she closes her eyes, the heavy darkness weighs heavily on her whole body. The heavy darkness weighs heavily on her whole body. You could have dropped the first heavy there. That is simply a scream. It's not someone else's. Screams come from her body and mind, telling her that she's in a critical state of fatigue. It already has been a month since she was summoned. During that time, she has done her best to just win. Her master is an ordinary person without a magic circuit, and she herself is the weakest of the servants. In order to make up for that shortcoming, she abused magecraft that was prohibited. She has been exploiting the citizens, manipulating the ley line using human sacrifices, and the threads of magic energy that she's placed throughout the town. That is the cause for why she was called a witch when she was alive. But she had never used them before. She should have never used them, and she had no intention of doing the forbidden. So, why did she end up using them for such a meaningless killfest? She became a heroic spirit for her own revenge. However, she understands that it is meaningless to use the magecraft that diminished her to being a witch. She only uses trivial magecraft. It was her creed to inflict certain curses that people referred to as disasters. They could cause people to destroy themselves with their own greed and return to their true selves. That was all the revenge she could manage. So what caused her to stray from her path so much? It's all for the Holy Grail. It's natural for me to go crazy for the Holy Grail that can grant any wish. That is a lie. She knows the true identity of the Holy Grail. She has known what the thing is and for what objective servants like her are summoned for a long time. It's true that most wishes can be granted by the Holy Grail that appears in this town. It could allow her to stay in this world as a physical entity instead of a heroic spirit, thereby allowing her to live a second life as a human. However, how stupid. What meaning is there for such a thing? She mutters and closes her eyes. She empties her mind. For a moment, she temporarily lets her guard down and rests her mind. She hears the sound of rain. It was a moonless night. Her empty heart wanders in the surrounding pitch blackness. That is where she met him, with a bloody body and frozen limbs. That coincidence was a miracle among miracles. It took place at the mountain that houses Ryudo Temple. Falling rain. She wanders aimlessly into the gloomy, dense forest. Thank you for making those noises for me, Medea. She leaves behind traces of blood. In her hand is the dagger that breaks contracts. The purple robe was wet from the rain, and her limbs had turned white from the winter rain. Okay, again, you already stated that it was raining once. You could have dropped the second instance of rain. Her limbs had turned white from the winter. Make it cold instead of rain. Come on. She staggers around, holding on to trees for support. She walked on, dirtied with mud, her breath ragged, reaching out her hand as if asking for help. She did not look like her usual self that is always composed. No, there was not even any remnants of magical energy. She's exhausted. There's only a fistful of magical energy left in her. For a servant, magical energy is like the body that allows them to exist. But she was losing all of her magical energy because her master was not supplying her with any. But that was only natural. You're at 290, but you'll have rank up quests, so finish your rank up, you should get to 300. Nice. I can definitely see that, especially since I'm pretty sure we're due for some apology quartz for the emergency maintenances that were today. She killed her own master just now. That is the sole cause for her exhaustion. She, the servant known as Castor, was trying to disappear in this mountain as compensation for obtaining freedom. A dry laugh. It is funny that her body is falling apart after she stabbed her vulgar master in the back. Moreover, it is also funny how she underestimated her connection with her master. She had done well. Her master was a legitimate master. He was in his 30s, had an average build, and didn't have many notable characteristics. He didn't have any intention to fight, but dreamed only of winning. He was a man that only awaited for the self-destruction of the other masters in the shadows. The man didn't trust her. He disliked her as a skilled mage, and he insulted her for being inferior to other servants. She gave up on him after a few days. She acted as an obedient servant and continued to fulfill the man's self-esteem. As a result, she made him use up his command spells on simple, meaningless things. She told him he did not need his command spells. She made him believe that she would pledge her loyalty to her master even without them. In conclusion, it was his fault for believing her. The master used his 3 command spells on meaningless things, and he was killed by Castor at that moment. It was easy. It was unpleasant for her contract with that man to still exist, so she finished him off with the contract breaker. I wonder if they're going to mention the other reason why Castor, unless that's an anime exclusive thing. I don't actually know if that is an anime exclusive scene for why Castor breaks off her contract, or if that is going to be brought up. So I'm not going to bring it up myself just yet. Yep, there was 2 emergency maintenances. No idea why, but she had made a mistake. Servants exist using the supply of magical energy from their master. But it wasn't about just obtaining magical energy. Servants are only allowed to exist in this age because they're connected to a human from this age. In other words, to lose one's master, their passport to this age, means being deported to the outside world. However, one would not normally be this exhausted. This is a curse her master left. Her master did not approve of Castor, a mage that was more skilled than him. Therefore, he always kept her magical energy supply at a level below his own. The amount of magical energy that a human possesses is not enough to keep a heroic spirit in this world. She would normally be able to last 2 days, even if she had lost her master. But this time is different. Her magical energy was drastically decreasing with every second, and she starts to see the end. Probably a few more minutes. She will disappear if she does not find the next master to make a contract with. She's going to disappear before she could even fight, as a pitiful servant that got summoned, just to be trampled on, unable to accomplish anything. Okay, it does look like it is anime exclusive with regards to the fact that her former master used a lot of children sacrifices for magical energy. So, yeah, her former master's a monster and deserved it. I don't know. I mean, it happened at maintenance time, so like midnight, I think. So I don't know why the servers would be that busy or anything, but we probably won't get an explanation. It was vexing. It was vexing, but it was not a big deal. Of course, there is the meme that I guess since Karna got an rank up quest or interlude or something released today, that he brought the servers down since he is the hero of charity, so that everybody could be given free quartz because he's so charitable, you know? That's the meme going around. But it was always like that. She was always treated unfairly. She was always treated someone else's tool, and she was never understood by anyone. Yes, her life was always controlled by someone else. Her mind was destroyed at a young age in order to save Jason, a hero chosen by the gods. Just for the sake of the hero the goddess of beauty happened to favor, the goddess cursed her to blindly love a man she did not even know. With a blank mind, she betrayed her father, and even her own country. Yeah, because the Greek gods are shit. Especially in the Type Moonverse. She has no recollection of anything that happened afterwards. After everything was over, the girl who was a princess was in an unfamiliar country. And I guess, historically, like mythologically as well, the gods and goddesses of the Greek pantheon are kind of asses. I think Hades is the only one that's kind of chill. Hades and Hephaestus, I think, would be the only two that I am aware of that are pretty chill. The girl who betrayed her father, the king, for a man. The witch who cut apart her own brother and mercilessly threw the pieces into the sea. The man who wished for that in order to become the king cast her aside, saying he could not marry a witch. She was taken to an unfamiliar country while still being manipulated, was labeled as a witch, and the only person she could rely on threw her away. I don't know if it actually like, as far as the fate verse of this, I don't know if that is the actual what happened, or if this is just her viewpoint of what happened. Because, I mean, Jason is clearly terrified of her, especially her younger form, so maybe Jason... I mean, again, I don't know enough about the lore, but maybe Jason did it to try and break the spell that she was under? Because maybe she was acting too young rather than dare. That is her origin. She had nothing to be blamed for, and the people around her understood that. Despite that, the people still demanded that she continue to play the role of a witch. Excuse me. An evil to protect the king. An evil to be on the receiving end of dark superstitions. They wanted a convenient scapegoat that they could blame for any disaster. That system hasn't changed. Humans desire an easily understandable evil so they can reassure themselves of their own goodness. In that regard, she was the perfect scapegoat. The father she could rely on was in a distant country. And dead. There was not a single person who defended her, so the people who could comfortably blame her for things. How they're poor, how they hate others, how people are ugly, even how people die. They decided that everything was that witch's fault. That's why she just accepted it. Since she can only live as a witch, she decided to live like a witch. She just swore she would show them how ugly the thing they desired and celebrated was. If people do not know their ugliness, then so be it. They can stay ignorant, go to hell for their own crimes, and suffer forever. They will not be able to get out of hell. They can only suffer as criminals for the rest of their lives, since they do not know what crimes they've committed. That is the meaning of existence she has imposed for herself. The role that they gave to the girl who had been called witch and never had free will. Yeah, Medea kind of does have the tragic backstory. Gotta wonder what would have happened if she ran into Shiro. But something like that. It's not something that someone wished for. That is the same for her. She just continues to seek revenge without any wishes of her own. Yes, until she met this stranger at this moment. A rustling sound. She glares ahead while struggling to remain conscious. It is midnight. What kind of human would come into this forest? What are you doing there? It was a heavy voice. She didn't even have the composure to check who it was. She just thought it was all over. She had no power to use magecraft. Her purple robe might have looked like a coat, but she was covered in blood from the waist down. A woman covered in blood is hiding in the rain. It was obvious that this human would do just from seeing that. They would run away first. What would they do after that? They would either report it or pretend they hadn't seen it. Either way, it didn't matter to her, as she could not move as she wanted to. That caused the last of her spirit to give out. Her final moments was lonely and cold, just like the end of her true lifetime. Or so she thought. When she regained her consciousness, she was at that place. Sitting in front of her was that human, that man she had met in the woods. So you've awakened. Can you tell me about your circumstances? Those were his first words. When she watched the man with blank amazement. Go home if I did a needless thing. If you wish to forget about this, I shall do so. The man tells her in a tone of voice that doesn't change. That was how she met her master, Soichiro Kuzuki. Kuzuki was a strange man. Should he be called a ghost? He had no reason to live, but he had no reason to die. He was just there, and since he existed, he just did what was given to him. He had no self. That was her first impression of him, so she thought it would be easy to turn him into a puppet. She gradually realized that was a mistake. Soichiro Kuzuki had no past. He has no self because he has no past, but it does not mean that he himself is empty. In reality, he was a sincere man. He easily accepted her when she told him she wanted him to be her master, and when she revealed her identity. If she asks, "Do you believe such a story?" he replies with, "Was that a lie?" Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. Happy things, happy things. Of course, if she replies to him that it is the truth, then he would accept it. She was able to stay in this world by gaining a new master, and was able to return to her role as a witch. Oh, they're doing a UB-Dub collab? Interesting. Very interesting. It's not enough to draw me in to play it, but it is interesting. So, Archer, I'm guessing, is part of Honkai now? Even now, she thinks that was a miracle. Because, I mean, Archer is kind of UB-Dub. Or Reen. She would have disappeared before she awakened if she had not been taken to Ryoto Temple. The Hawk has been grinding a new account to play. So it's not an easy thing to get to. Gotcha. Ryoto Temple is a demonic place for servants, but a perfect place for summoning once inside. The bounded field that surrounds Ryoto Temple is useful for keeping any human beings inside from disappearing. Oh, Seba! Interesting, Seba. So we have another saber design, then. Lancer's in game. Poor Lancer, he always gets shafted. She was saved right before she was going to disappear because she was brought to Ryoto Temple. If it had been a different place, she would have vanished after being taken there. As a result, she found the best ley line and had an impregnable defense. She was easily able to take over Ryoto Temple, figured out the mechanism of the Holy Grail, and summoned Assassin as the fifth servant. But such things are trivial matters. She was certainly lucky that night. Many miracles saved her, and now victory is within her sight. Lancer Gashinda? Oh no, Lancer Gashinda! Poor Lancer. But none of that is worth her thanks. If there was nothing, she would have just been just as content to give up. There was just one thing that was really important. A very small matter that is not important for anyone else. That coincides that she was able to meet Soichiro Kozuki is a miracle beyond belief. I'll have to check that out. I shall have to check that out later. But even that's not going well. No, she sighs that nothing she does goes well. Her master won't be happy even if she does such a thing like this. He's not had any interest in the Holy Grail from the start. If he had a clear wish, she would do her best to grant it, but he has none. A one-sided relationship. They do not get along well. Even the fact that their relationship is like that shows things aren't going well. So the mummy hunter became a mummy, huh? Even the rare witch is pretty fragile. She turns to the intruder. It's not her master standing there. It's the knight in red cloak, Archer, whose identity is still unknown. I thought I ordered you to keep watch outside. Main NP is also the alt in the game. Makes sense. Yeah, about that. I didn't see any enemies around from what I saw, so I got bored. So I came to see what's going on in here. I would assume so. Our only enemy is Berserker. Even with him, he will go attack them when we will go attack them ourselves when Saber is fully surrendered. There are no enemies here now that you have changed sides. Excalibur, UB-dub. Yeah. I mean, if they ever, had a collaboration thing, then I might play Honkai, but right now I'm just too busy, man. I'm just too busy. Did you not come to my side knowing that? Who knows? Don't you think that I only wanted to break my contract with that master? Don't you think I didn't care who my master was, as long as it was someone other than that master? Archer's frivolous talk has some truth to it. But what does that mean? Does that mean Archer had no intention of betraying, but betrayed his master only because he wanted to break his contract with Rin Tosaka? I see. So you don't like protecting that brat? It is true that us servants are generally unsatisfied towards our masters. It's natural for you to run out of patience. No, she was perfect as a summoner, but some miscalculations occurred. And Caster, let me warn you, don't think that every servant is the same as you. At the very least, Saber and Berserker were satisfied with their masters. A righteous hero can only be summoned by righteous people. Yep, Ilya is the picture of righteousness. Ilya is not a murder lolly. At all. Well, tell me that now. A twisted master calls for twisted heroes. You don't need to tell me such a thing. That's right. The quality of a servant changes depending on the summoner. Summoners with dark shadows in their mind cannot summon heroic spirits who are on the side of light. Wrong. In that regard, she and Ryder are not heroic spirits. A twisted summoner calls for twisted heroic spirits. Just as Ryder was once a beautiful being, so too was Caster once a pure being. It is ironic that heroic spirit that Caster summoned was a fictional hero. But it is indeed strange once I think about it. You and Ryder are the kind of beings that oppose heroic spirits, yet you are still summoned as servants. Well, the Holy Grail does not differentiate between good and evil. I guess it just summons any human spirit that has power, huh? I mean, Shinji didn't summon anybody, so... No, originally a mixed spirit that was a heroic spirit was never chosen. The irregularities started with the Third War. Until then, heroic spirits like Ryder and I were never summoned. That doesn't concern her now. She's also not interested in the true nature of the Holy Grail. Her mission as the servant that goes by Caster is only to win this war. She's not interested in what comes after. No, to be honest, that's not the end she wishes. Pretty good. Enough with the meaningless talk, Archer. True. Very, very true. Get back to your position. I don't care what you're thinking. You're already my servant. Your life is in my hands. Keep that in mind when you talk to me. Understood, then I shall meet my master's expectations like an obedient servant. The knight in red goes up the stairs with an unchanging tone of voice. She watches him in silence and takes a deep sigh. One more day until Saber surrenders. Milkshakes! Milkshakes are good. I haven't had one in so long, but I can't have them because I'm trying to watch what I eat. She's not been able to find the Holy Grail as of yet, but she will be one step closer to the end once Saber joins her ranks. What will happen once the war ends? Castor shall make every wish come true with that power. Continuing to live as a witch just as she swore to when she was alive wouldn't be so bad. But there will be no reason once the war ends. Even if she has the will, her owner will have no reason to be her master anymore. I will obtain the Holy Grail soon. Castor extends her pale hand into the empty space. Ice cream that melts and refroze something for me, so you'll use that. That's fair. That is always a legitimate method of making a milkshake. Just gotta add some milk to it. Her long and hard work is about to be rewarded, but her expression is like that of a criminal about to be executed. Interlude done. Yeah, I haven't been able to I haven't had sweets in so long. So long. And Media's a bit of a drama queen, I think. I saw many corpses. I died at that time and was reborn. I don't have repentance about the path I took. My eyes lost their hatred. Oh, I just finished it off, so I figured now was the perfect time. My hands lost their anger. My feet lost their hope. And I lost myself there. I lost everything. It's not because I gave up that I just accepted that nothing would be saved. I just found out that it's unnatural. Apparently, which, I doubt that, Shiro. I very much doubt that. It's just that dying people will die and survivors will survive. Oh gosh. Are we about to get the line? Are we about to get the iconic line said at last? I mean, that line right there is pretty close. That line right there, it's pretty close to it, but... I lay down on the mountain of rubble and gazed at the spreading ruins. I understood everything then. Okay, Mr. Arrogant. I thought I understood everything. Okay, so he's got some ego. But I still thought about it. If I can save everything here, how wonderful that would be. That is what I admired. I just thought it would be nice if no one had to suffer. I tried to become a hero of justice for that sake. It was easy to understand, and it seemed like an ideal way to live. That's why I aimed for it. I can see where I had to be, and there are many ways to get there. Just beat Super Fulgur earlier. Nice. Yeah, I still gotta do runs. I've just been busy. So fucking busy lately. I haven't had the free time to play games. Levels of busy. Just because the software that I need... I already explained the full headache with the software that I needed to try and get downloaded, and I figured it out, and Microsoft Visio is such a pain to use. It's just, ugh. Using Holy... Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. I just kept on running, wanting to get as close to it as possible, even though I didn't know what was right or wrong. Many paths I took were crooked, and my destination was only getting farther away. I'm taking the long way. I've been repeating this for 10 years, since I got saved by Kiritsugu. But I won't regret it. I'm not skilled like Tosaka. I'll take the wrong path and lose many things at times, but I can't disregard them as meaningless. I have to show meaning for why I survived for the sake of having things I trample over and things that won't come back. Out of curiosity, J6, do the Everdarks start giving the 25 initially again after they've been cycled out? Like, because they cycled back in, are they counted as not beaten and give you 25 again, or do they still count as being beaten? I won't lose for that sake. It can't be helped if I lose against others, but I can win against myself. I can always resist against my mind that says to give up. That's all I swore upon. There's only one thing I believed in and wanted to believe in. Yes, even if I'm walking down the wrong path, I'll not regret believing in it. First ever jail was Ancient Dragon. You fought Ancient Dragon first. Impressive. I'm awakened by the light pouring in from outside. It's before 6 a.m. The sky outside the window is cloudy, as if sprinkled with ashes. I get ready and leave my room. My body's in good condition, and there's not much pain in my wound anymore. Good to know, J6, good to know. I shouldn't be a burden to Tosaka like this, even if we were to engage in battle. You have no servants, Shiro! I don't think I've ever seen Reen with glasses on. I don't think she ever wore glasses even in the Fate route. So this is unusual. They look good on her, at least. I don't recall ever seeing a glasses sprite on Reen. Man, the anime was so long ago. And I'm gonna be honest here, the abridged version of the anime is kind of overwriting a lot of my memories of the main version of the anime. So, yeah. The abridged is kind of overriding main memories. You're here. Are you ready, Shiro? I'm ready, but... Tosaka has transformed. I mean, I will rewatch Yui dubs after I finish the route, just so I can pick out any differences. What are you looking like a newbie soldier who stepped on a mine and can't move? Are you not ready yet? No, that's not it. Don't you look different, Tosaka? Oh, these, I put them on when I do detailed work, so don't worry about it. Well, I guess that's fine if she says so. I wonder what kind of magecraft this is that makes it look so wrong, yet so right. You're never rewatching unless you're forced because you watched it enough times. What about the abridged version? Have you watched the abridged version, J6? Because I think the abridged version is at least always worth going back to if you need a good chuckle at times. Also, so it's confirmed here, Shiro has a thing for girls with glasses. Which is fair. Alright, we're heading to the forest in the outskirts. It's a huge sea of trees that is unkempt and far from the city. It has rejected human intervention for a long time, so the forest is big and wide. You know that every year a few people go out there without proper preparation and get lost, right? I nod silently. Our destination is the Iceburn Villa that is said to be somewhere in that forest. That girl. Our fate is decided the moment our negotiation with Ilia's Vale breaks down and we end up fighting. We can't call for help, and it'll be difficult to run away. We can't escape from the forest alive if we don't defeat that giant berserker. And let's get going. I stayed up all night estimating where it might be, so we should be able to find it in a half a day if all goes well. We'll take the taxi to the highway, so get some money ready. She picks up a Boston bag. Boston bag? What the heck is a Boston bag? Hang on. Boston bag? That's... okay. I've never heard of them called that before. So, a Boston bag is the, type of handbag that has the oblong shape, tapered ends, and short handles. Let me see if I can't get a good image of a Boston bag. It's almost like a fanny pack, but with, like, short handles, I guess, is the best way to put it. It's kind of like a purse, too, technically. I've never heard it called that before, so... I go after her with my bamboo sword in one hand. But, Tosaka... First result you got was a restaurant called Boston Pizza. Nice. I mean... I wonder what that says. Have you been searching pizza lately, J6? Are you hungry? Money for the taxi is fine, but that doesn't mean we'll be walking the way back home. Shiro, you are very optimistic that you are going to survive this. We ride the taxi for an hour from town. We ride on the endless highway, passing several mountains, and reach the entrance of the forest. Of course, there are no paved roads in the forest. We walk about 1 kilometer from the highway and reach the entrance to the forest. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I can't help but get nervous once I actually face it. The forest is dark even though it's daytime. The tall branches that cover the sky shut out the sunlight, and it's hard to see more than 10 meters ahead, let alone at the end of the forest. Hey Shiro, sorry, but can you walk ahead a bit? You had stir-fried chicken, char siu, stir-fried cabbage, chicken veggie soup, and rice for dinner. Yeah, I had cheese pizza. I tried to make my own, because I've been trying to use a pizza stone that I got, and the pizza peel, and so I got it on the peel. I got the pizza dough on the peel, no problem. And I got it onto the pizza stone, no problem. But a little bit of it was sort of hanging over at the edge. So it's like, okay, I gotta fix this. And then it was a bunch of finagling and trying to move the dough to not be hanging over so it doesn't bake improperly or anything. And as a result, it kind of fell off the pizza stone onto the inside door of the pizza. And kind of got ruined. So I had to toss that and just order pizza instead. It was store-bought pizza dough. It was frozen pizza dough that I had to let thaw and rise. I took it out yesterday at like a little before midnight. Let it essentially thaw down for about 12 hours, then set it out to rise for another 4 hours. Yeah, I know. I set it out to rise for 4 hours, and I coated it in oil for it to rise. Then I had flattened it on a floured surface, floured both sides pretty well, applied cornmeal to the side to the pizza peel so that it would slide off the pizza peel nice and easy. And it was a little difficult still. I'm still getting used to using a pizza peel. And again, a little bit of the dough sort of drooped over the edge of the stone, so I tried to adjust it all, and kind of resulted in the pizza falling off the stone. Yeah. I do have a picture of it. I might post it in the... Yes, I do. I do have a pizza peel. I might post the picture of the end result. Oh, you don't have a pizza peel or stone. Gotcha. Ready to sell one more trophy for story because it's missable. Might go. Try and finish off today. Well, good luck with that. Infinity Lord, good luck with that. Make do with what you have. I mean, the pizza stone's a new thing for me. I'm trying something new. Excuse me. That's fine, but you're the one who knows where that girl is, right? I don't think anything good will come from having me go ahead. Yeah, I mean, again, this is... The whole using a pizza stone thing is kind of new for me, so... I complain as I enter the forest. Funny rune number indeed, by the way, J6. Funny rune number indeed. Then... Uh-oh. What the... I just felt a shock. I pulled my foot back, reflexively. I only felt numb for an instant. The numbness itself is subtle and it hurts way more to stub your toe on a dresser. Well, it's basically like a static shock. I knew it. I'm sure it was only for identification, but it seems like she has the whole forest under her surveillance. Bounded field. Wait, hold on. Isn't that bad? If I remember correctly, in the anime, does Reen not step on essentially a landmine and get blasted up here? Or is that an anime exclusive thing? Oh, so you have to replay the entire game. That sucks. Infinity Lord, that sucks. That means we set off a burglar alarm, right? Then... I don't think that's a problem. We didn't come here to surprise attack. We came to talk. So it'd be in our favor to let them know we're coming. Be careful. You'll feel a bit of a shock. I know, I saw it happen to you, so I know. Tosaka waves her hand and stepped into the forest. At that moment... I remember correctly. She lets out a funny scream and jumps back. I hear crackling electricity. I want to believe it's my imagination that leaves piled up under Tosaka's feet are scorched. It seems like the alarm reacts differently depending on the person who stands. It was like a greeting to me. Yeah, because you're her brother, Shiro. Rin is an enemy. I calmly explain the situation. But it doesn't seem like Tosaka is listening to me. Well, yeah, he doesn't know, but we know. That kid has some nerve. I heard you laugh just now. She yells at the empty space, which isn't where there isn't anyone. I don't know where that line went, as her threatening attitude seems like she might go fight instead of talk. Well, anyways. Seems like talking bad about Tosaka is fatal no matter how far away you are from her. So I should be careful. I feel like we're going to be in an interlude here soon. We walk through the forest. We're the only living humans among the infinite trees. I don't hear the breathing of any beasts, and the plants in winter are lifeless as corpses. The endless sea of trees that seem to go on forever makes me constantly feel apprehension. It's interesting because the trees were a lot more alive in the Fate route. It's already been 3 hours since we entered the forest. It's way past noon, and I've just become unable to tell whether there have been any changes in the landscape. Found it. Jeez, I'm fed up even though I knew about it. They really built something like that in a place like this? I follow Tosaka's line of sight. There's only darkness ahead. Between the trees, there is some incredibly out-of-the-place thing that can be seen through cracks that are so small they could easily be missed by anybody who doesn't pay close attention. Is that a wall? It's a wall. Jeez, what's up with that? They brought the whole thing from their country. She curses and heads to the strange object we see in the distance. I follow after, still bewildered, unable to grasp what it is. We get out of the forest. The forest that seemed to be endless abruptly ends. No, it seemed like traces of the forest vanish as if they carved out just this part with a big spoon. The gray sky curving above us is so high that I can't see everything. A huge dome-like space. This is more like an underground kingdom instead of an open space. Honestly, the building feels... Why does it feel so squished? Like, hold up. That looks incredibly squished down there, right? Is it just me, or does that look incredibly squished down? It's just me? Okay, fair. That's up to you, Infinity Lord. That is up to you. I don't think it would save a recording of your Summer Castoria things if you do it through Discord, but I'm not sure. But if you want a record of it, that was Ilia's Vale's dwelling. The old castle built in the middle of the forest. It's a solitary castle that in the forest that has no visitors, and it's too big for that girl to live in, and is too lonely to live in alone. It's essentially pretty much confirmed that next Friday is going to be when summer drops, by the way, J6. That's what most people are speculating. Anyway, it does no good to falter here. According to Tosaka, Ilia's Vale knows that we came here. We should go confidently from the front entrance to show that we don't have any enmity. Alright, let's go, Tosaka. Tosaka? She looks up at the castle with an alarming expression. Her side profile looks tense as it does when she's confronting an enemy. Is there something bothering you? Yeah, there's someone else other than us. Of course there is. This is where that Ilia girl and Berserker live. That's not it. There's someone else besides them. Shiro, we're going to enter from over here. Excuse me. Oh, wait! Without a chance to stop her, she starts running by the big tree in the wall. No, that's not at all. Tosaka grabs onto a branch and skillfully climbs up. I look up in astonishment. Tosaka looks around the castle and jumps and kicks the castle's second floor. She just kicks the second floor. It doesn't... No mention of kicking the second floor window. She's just outright kicking the second floor itself. The force of her kick is so mighty that she shattered a window just from hitting the ground. Amazing, Green. Amazing. A shattering sound. A window breaks and a red figure disappears into the castle. Come on, hurry. Something's seriously wrong with this castle. Jeez, aren't we here to talk? But what's done is done. I also climb the tree and jump into the second floor of the castle like Tosaka. I go up to the hallway from the room we invaded. Before I can even marvel at how magnificent this place is, the abnormality Tosaka mentioned earlier grabs my attention. The sound echoing is definitely the sound of battle. The sound of swords clashing. But is a storm-like sword fight like this even possible? Even the most intense sword fight I've witnessed so far, the one between Saber and Berserker, didn't make these kinds of sounds. No milkshakes? Oof. That's rough, man. I hate it when you think you have some tasty milk, and it does not prove up to be tasty. It proves to be sour. That always sucks. Oh. Are we not gonna see the full intrusion? Was that whole thing just a anime exclusive scene as well? Oh man. Then I suddenly realize, this doesn't sound like your average sword fight. This is one against many. There's literally a war going on somewhere in this castle. There's no doubt one of them is Berserker. The castle is Ilya's castle. If the battle were to occur, it would only be when Berserker is attacking an intruder. I start running. The sounds are echoing from below. Judging from where the sounds are coming from relative to our entry point, the battle is at the center of the castle, in the reception hall. I run through the unfamiliar castle. This isn't the time to be exchanging opinions. I don't know what's happening, but it feels like it'll lead to permanent consequences. Coffee it is. Don't drink too much coffee, you'll stunt your growth. I run down the stairs. The fierce sword fight is happening close by. Alright, this place connects to the hall's atrium. Tosaka checks the end of the passage. The hallway splits at a T-junction, and both seem to lead to the terrace at either side of the hall. Let's split up here. I'll go from this side, so you go from that side. It's better to split up than to stay together in one place. With the way we are now, we don't have any way to escape if we're found. We don't stand a chance either way. So, we'll split up. If we split up, even if one of us was found, there's hope the other can manage to escape somehow. Don't drink too much coffee, J6. Coffee stunts your growth. Don't you want to grow taller? Gosh. That's a fair bit of bond. I think I'm like at 500,000 bond still for bond 14 melt, so getting the higher bond levels are time consuming. Tosaka goes down the hallway facing east. I nod and go down the other hallway on the other side, facing west. Really? So, Tosaka goes down the east-facing hallway, so Shiro goes down the other hallway, and then he clarifies the other hallway, and then clarifies further that the other hallway that is not going east is going west. Shiro Emiya, again, master of the obvious. She suddenly stops me. You know, right? Whatever happens, don't do anything. We don't have the option to fight right now. Run away as soon as you think it's dangerous, okay? Run away even if one of us gets caught. Saving others comes after you save yourself. I don't think so. My parents told me when I was younger that I couldn't have any of their coffee no matter how delicious it smelled. So I'm inclined to believe my parents. Her voice is suppressing her emotions. That sounded more like a plea than a warning. I go around and come out onto the terrace of the lobby. I see Tosaka emerge from the other side on the terrace far away. She immediately takes cover and peeks out to see what's going on while hiding. The instant we look down at the hall, we both suppress our voices. Why is he here? Shinji stands atop the rubble in the corner of the lobby, observing the spectacle with joy. No, that's not it. That's not the surprising thing. Right now, the truth I have to accept right now is the battle that Shinji is observing. Yeah, because it stunts your growth. The black giant lets out a roar. A swinging axe sword stirs up a cloud of dust and crushes the rubble into powder. Berserker is no different than before. No, his blood-curdling roar doesn't compare to what it sounded like before. Behind the giant is the pale white girl, Berserker's master, Ilya. That girl was always smiling innocently and unfit for a kill fest. That girl is now shivering and staring at her own servant, about to cry out. Her pale face is desperately trying to deny the despair in front of her. Someone, help me. That's what the trembling lips of the snow-white girl seem to say. No. A whirlwind blows violently. A berserker's axe sword is repelled each time. In the center of the hall, by the noble phantasm of one servant reigning from the throne of rubble. Hey, the cool Gil drip. I definitely prefer this style for Gil compared to the Fate Route style. Definitely prefer it. The countless numbers of swords dance. Shiro, that is not just swords, dude. You know it. Anybody with eyes can see this is not just swords. Each one of the weapons appearing behind the man is undeniably a fatal weapon. And I will believe it when my parents tell me otherwise, J6. They pierce, though. Through, like hot water. The bottomless double phantasms destroys Berserker's body as if repelling the axe sword wasn't enough already. His limbs fly off. The swords cut through his body, penetrate his head, and pierce his heart. But he still does not die. The giant revives after each instantaneous death he suffers, and resolutely advances towards his enemy. 8 times already. Berserker moves forward while being killed mercilessly that many times. The enemy welcomes him with a smile. The repeated tragedy. Berserker is killed many times, unable to get close to his enemy. No way. It's not because Berserker is being defeated without being able to do anything. That man, that servant, is beyond belief. All the noble phantasms that are repeated infinitely are real. I can tell since I projected Archer's swords. Those are the original versions of every noble phantasm, the ones from before they became legends. Who could he be, being a heroic spirit who's able to retain so many weapons? No, first of all, there should be 7 servants. Then he's the 8th one. Is he the one who shouldn't exist? I can't breathe. Berserker is nothing less than astounding. A body made out of steel and that superhuman strength. On top of that, he can regenerate on the spot even if he dies. He's not an opponent that can be matched. The 8th servant doesn't retreat from such a monstrous opponent and overwhelms Berserker with repeated magic swords and holy swords. When I look up, Tosaka's face on the other side was also pale. It's only natural. The space below us is a land of death. We'll die instantly if we enter it. No, more than that. He's a demon. A different atrocity from Berserker. This man lacks order and wishes for the battles only for the objective of killing. Does Gil have a freaking cane there? Like, that looks like a cane more than it does a weapon, dude. I do not know any sword that is shaped like that. Or, I guess it could be a hook, but still. But even with such an unusual enemy in front of him, the Black Giant is still the strongest. His steps don't cease even when his whole body is pierced or cut up. He receives the rain of noble phantasms, regenerates each time, and surely closes in on his enemy. Well, it's not going to be that effective if it's fired off like it was pointing. It's an advance devoid of tactics. He's not thinking of any ways of countering his enemy's attacks. He moves forward as long as he's alive. It's a savage battle about just killing the enemy. Also, you know, they could have definitely done better with Berserker's teeth here. Because there's, like, no indicators of which teeth are incisors, which teeth are molars. They all just look like incisors. Maybe that's just stereotypical drawing shortcut, but still. Will not reach the enemy. Berserker's brute courage will prove futile, and his life will end just as a mere target. The enemy understands that. That's why he stopped on purpose and is just provoking the giant that foolishly moves forward. There's no chance of victory for the Black Giant with this method. It's something that the man confronting him and I, looking as an outsider, can tell. And, most likely, even Berserker himself, who's being used for target practice, must have realized the same thing a while back. Yet the giant keeps stupidly moving forward. He knows no retreat and doesn't try to avoid the attacks. That man welcomes the figure with a smile. All you can do is attack. Guess it shouldn't surprise me since you're a Berserker. Still, I had hopes for you as a fellow demigod. But I didn't expect you to be such a fool. The noble phantasms appear. Roaring with laughter, the man commands the noble phantasms behind him. I shall finish you off. It'd be unpleasant for you to come any closer. At his signal, the numerous noble phantasms attack the giant. The giant repels a majority of them, and at the same time, a majority of them take his life. The Black Giant shakes. The body of rock starts to fall, but the giant holds out and shakes off the noble phantasms clinging all over his body. What the? The astonishment comes from that man. The Black Giant gets rid of the swarm of noble phantasms and closes in on his enemy. His body is already a corpse. The Black Giant advances what should be a hopelessly fatal wound. That is the result of a strong will. It's not madness due to being a berserker. The giant is facing this hopeless battle with a strong will. Stupid target that's only got its size going for it is still intact. The magic bolts are fired mercilessly. Repelling them with his axe sword, the giant closes in on the man with his body slashed and legs pierced. He most likely won't reach the man. Yet for him to still challenge himself while doing that, he must have understood that he could not give up. What is he moving forward for? The servant fights for his master, to protect her life. That is why the giant did not retreat. He could only move forward as a shield to protect his master behind him, the frightened girl from the rain of noble phantasms. The giant resumes his foolish advancement. It is because he knew that he could only defeat that enemy while protecting Ilya by taking all the attacks himself. And if he's able to reach his enemy, then that is when he wins. It was this kind of battle from the start. The man has to kill the Black Giant before he reaches him, and the giant has to approach the man before his life ends. This is a battle where whoever accomplishes their goal first survives. The giant is aware of that, even if, that is, a battle he had no chance of winning from the start. Not as a berserker, at least. I can imagine Archer Herc putting up a good fight. You know, I think he could do good. He lets out a roar. Coming out from his 10th death, the Black Giant runs. He charges toward the man, stirring up rubble like a bull challenging a matador. You servant. Numerous arrows are released. Did he get used to it from repeated deaths, or was it his final charge? The giant repels all of the arrows, and closes in on the owner of the noble phantasms. The axe sword is swung. The strong sword that had not been swung from the man zips through the air with a flash. Chain of Heavens. The Black Bull is captured by numerous chains that appear. Enkidu! What kind of noble phantasm is this? The chains that suddenly appeared in midair lock up Berserker as if binding space itself. The chain tightens Berserker's arms and twists them in every direction. As the chains wrap around his whole body, they continue to get tighter and even try to squeeze his rock-like neck off with tension. You still won't die. These chains once bound the Bull of Heaven, but even they don't seem to be enough to finish you off. The man's voice. The hall is filled with the creaking sounds of the chains. It must be Berserker's strength. The giant tries to cut off the chains that control its space. Even if it initially sounds impossible, there's no doubt the giant can accomplish it. And of course, the man understood that as well. Now, come back, Berserker. The girl screams. Ilia's Veil uses a command spell to command Berserker to retreat by force. And the giant is still captured by the chains and unable to move an inch. Why, I told you to come back inside me, so why? It's useless, you puppet. Not even the gods can escape these chains. No, the higher your divinity, the more they become prey. That was originally made just to discipline the gods. It will not allow a teleportation through a command spell. And then, the man points to the giant as if to signal the end. An astonished girl's voice. It's over. This time, it really ends. Bounded by chains and therefore unable to defend himself, he gets annihilated by the noble phantasm 22 times. The black giant goes silent as he is forced to assume the shape of what can only be described as a strange statue. There is no need to even check whether he's breathing or not. Even if he is a great hero that overcame 10 deaths, he should not be able to get back up after experiencing over 20 deaths. Wow, that is factually incorrect. Like, why are they going deaths? Unless they're referring to the fight itself. I suppose that could be a thing. They could just be referring to the fight itself, that he's overcome being killed 10 times, but... yes. Even if he is alive, the giant should not have enough strength to even breathe. And the battle ends. It was known from the start who was going to win. Berserker couldn't win against that servant. No servant can be a match for that man as long as they are heroic spirit. Heroic spirits have their own weakness, which have been preserved from their time as living beings. By extension, each servant's origin story is their weakest point. Then, what would be the result of having a heroic spirit fight off against someone who possesses all the noble phantasms, including the one that ended their life as a human? This is the result. Okay, but Shiro, you do not want to go down that line of logic, because that implies that Gilgamesh has the prototype of the toilet that killed Nobu. Shiro, do not go down that train of thought, because then he also has the prototype of the block of cheese that killed Maeve. What other kind of weird things will he have in his gate if he has the prototype of every weapon that killed every servant? Come on, Shiro, think! People die through a lot of crazy ways, man. Even if he may have been stronger as a hero, he cannot win against that man as long as he's a heroic spirit. No, Berserker. The ghostly white girl runs to the black giant that became a corpse. And the man mercilessly slashes the girl with a sword in his hand. That was a scream. She screams. The man takes away the girl's vision with a single horizontal strike. Man, I sure hope that Ilia gets some good time in the Hollow Atraxia that will be coming later this year. Exactly. For the next attack, the aim is to stab her heart, but that misses. No, He missed on purpose. The girl is pierced in the lung, and she coughs up blood. The chains are broken. He didn't glitter away, so that means he's A-okay. The black giant breaks the chains and launches an attack on the man. The man stabs the slow-witted target. The spear pierces his heart. He finishes off the giant with a spear similar to the Lancer's noble phantasm, Gable. Then it ends. The black giant dies for sure that time. The sword is pulled out from the collapsed girl. Leaving traces of red behind, the girl crawls to the giant that is no longer moving. Watching in delight, the man walks forward. He threw away his sword. He'll use his bare hands to finish off the dying girl. I'll die. I'll probably die. I'll die for sure this time. That servant has no logic. He'll kill anyone in his way. If I don't get away from here before he finds me, I'll surely be killed. So well, Shiro Emiya does Shiro Emiya things. So Shiro Emiya will stop the man. My frozen body bursts out. My feet lift me up. My arms grab the railing at the same time. I see Tosaka's face as I do so. She's biting her lip in frustration, glaring at the tragedy happening below us. I know. It's obviously she wants to stop him as well. But we'll be the ones killed if we do so. There's no way we can stop him. That goes the same for me. I know it's stupid of me to die trying to save the dying girl. I don't care about that. I can't leave that girl be. That's what overtakes my mind. I jump over the railing. Tosaka and Shinji both look surprised at the intruder, but the man doesn't even see me jumping down. He reaches out to the girl in white. Stop, you bastard! I yell at the top of my lungs. I stop him with all my might. The man stops his arm that he tried to extend, and slowly, he turns toward me by the wall like a grim reaper who's found his new prey. Oh, an interlude. Good drink. Going back over a month. He was summoned to this world before anyone else. Oh, so now we're getting the Herc and Ilya stuff. Okay. He was not summoned to this country. A faraway foreign country. The ground is constantly covered in white, and the sky is always gray. The castle is built hidden in the mountains. It is always winter in that land. Coldness and stagnation. Barrenness and longing. They're like living corpses, cutting off their connection with the present world and waiting for a reproduction of a miracle. The winter coldness takes away their human warmth, and the stagnant world won't allow them a new lifestyle. His family were seekers of the Holy Grail. Spring won't come for the Einsborn family until the day their dearest wish is fulfilled. It's already been 10 centuries since they started the search for the Holy Grail. Just say 1 millennia! Jeez! After using every possible method to get close to the Holy Grail, they were eventually able to cast it out of iron. However, all they could make was the vessel. No mystic dwelled within it, and they kept casting the vessels that could never be filled. But a foreseeable end comes to these days. They perform a ritual to fill the vessel with the help of outsiders. The result was both a success and a failure. The Holy Grail was made, though through this the Holy Grail could be filled, but it made many enemies at the same time. Even as the supposed owners of the Holy Grail, they were reduced to mere providers of a service, no better than any other mage. Their tenacity is abnormal. No, ever since they almost obtained the Holy Grail 1,000 years ago, they had lost their minds. They broke the rules and constantly pulled the strongest card. The first time, they didn't have any leeway to do so. The second time, they finally found a loophole in the rules. The third time, they summoned what they shouldn't have. Then the fourth time, they were sure of their victory after getting the strongest card and its manipulator. The results were a crushing defeat like never before. Of all servant and masters, they chose ones who betrayed them. The man destroyed the Holy Grail, leaving his daughter behind in the Winter Castle. They were furious at the man's betrayal and lamented their mistake. They could not trust outsiders, after all. Only one of their bloodline, their family's creation, who had inherited magic circuits perfected over generations, could obtain the Holy Grail. They had a backup plan to start with. Then, the 5th time, they made certain they prepared the strongest master and servant. That was him. 2 months before the Holy Grail started, every rule was broken for him, Berserker, to be summoned beforehand. The days that followed were only to hurt the human that would become master. The command spell engraved all over the girl's body was only to control Berserker. It did no good as a magic circuit and drained her life away. Even just a slight movement by Berserker would make the girl scream. It's no wonder. It was 2 months until the Holy Grail would appear. The only thing keeping this great hero in this world was her magical energy and command spell. Berserker was not created from the magical energy of the Holy Grail. No matter how special she is, keeping Berserker using her own magical energy is like taking her own life away. Knowing that, they still didn't allow her to rest. They abandoned them in the winter forest, filled with a pack of hungry beasts. They gave them over to the corpses possessed by evil spirits. They were even thrown into the wasteland where they disposed of their failed experiments. The only way for the girl to survive was to rely on the giant, the only thing she had been given. It was beyond training. It was a fight for survival. Yet, the girl survived. She had the giant attack the oncoming enemies. Every time she would let out a scream of anguish, but had him ceaselessly eliminate everything that attacked. He himself doesn't know when that process became a special one to him. Despite the girl's young appearance, she hated whining. Everything that came out of her mouth was an insult. She must have instinctively known she was going to lament. She would become stronger if she hated the cause. The girl despised Berserker for being ugly and cursed his existence. It was natural. The girl would not have to suffer if he had not existed. She would not have been thrown into such a hell if she had not been chosen as a master. The girl detested the giant for everything and used him as an outlet for her anger. The girl got used to controlling Berserker, and by the time the Holy Grail showed signs of its appearance, the pain that attacked her disappeared. The girl took away reasoning from the giant as if in revenge, treating him as a mute, mad warrior. But he already knew he was the girl's utmost resistance. By doing so, the girl hid her own weaknesses, that she could live by herself. She held her head high since she didn't need any allies that she could trust or friends that she loved. That was her way of disguising that she had nothing to call her own. You're strong, Berserker. In the winter forest, the girl hesitantly touched his arm, stained red from the enemy's blood. This scene, along with this music, does not go well together. This is like something you would expect a horror movie thing to have. Like, such light, uplifting music, and you see a giant of a man and a little girl in a blood-stained forest. Good lord! This is horror-themed! Surrounded by a pack of beasts, the girl braced for death even as she desperately denied it. And, at that time, he was not able to move without an order from his master, so he was the first to become the beast's prey. The pack of beasts pierced his arteries, tendons, and eyeballs with their fangs. The girl screamed, seeing that. He couldn't remember what she said, since he had his reasoning taken away. But the girl screamed not for her sake, but for his. Even though he destroyed her arm with every time he swung his own, she endured it so he did not die. That's why both of them were covered in blood. I wouldn't say they're covered in blood. Like, I mean, if you've played Bloodborne or seen someone play Bloodborne, that's covered in blood. Ilya, at most, has a slight spattering of blood on her. Meanwhile, Herc, he's got a little bit more blood covering him, but I would not say he's covered. The giant was covered in the slaughter's beast's blood, and the girl was covered in her own. He remembers that winter forest, the weight of the girl that leaned on him, crying tears of pain. Good lord. I'm just seeing this. Did they cut off Herc from the ankles down? He's standing on stumps. Look at this. Turn on the mouse. Look at this down here. He's standing on his stumps. Good gracious, that's brutal. Brutality. No, I mean, considering there is blood pooling right there, I think it's safe to say that he had his ankles chopped off. In that small, cold castle, the Black Giant was the only one that the girl talked to. She comes into view. It was the same at that time. The girl is running to him crying, what she had not seen since she had become a master. And the man slashes her. With a horizontal flash, the blonde enemy takes away the girl's vision. Her face is covered in red. The blind girl runs in spite of that, tripping over rubble. The slender body falls. There. The enemy's sword is swung. The sword misses her heart. Her lung must have been pierced as the girl is coughing up blood, still on the ground. It's not an instant death, but it is fatal. The girl is left with nothing as her vision is taken away. Her lungs are broken, and she even lost her servant. If she could die peacefully, it might at least be a salvation if she could just go to sleep right there. However, it hurts. It hurts. The girl is moving forward, leaving a trail of blood behind. She crawls toward the Black Giant, fumbling and crying in anguish. How much power was left in him? He breaks the chains with all of his might and grabs at the man. The magical spear is thrust. It pierces his heart. And it ends. The man pulls out the spear as if nothing happened, and the remaining power in the giant completely disappears. His body disappears. The power that was giving him form has completely disappeared. Then, all that there is left is for him to disappear. The servant lost all his magical energy and has no power to stay in this world any longer. He falls to the ground, but in his final moment, he sees the girl fumbling around for him in his peripheral. Strength returns to his collapsing legs. The law of magecraft that built him, the regulation of the world that hates inconsistencies, and the body of rock crumble away as sand. Berserker's strongest. He pushes away every power that tries to eliminate him with just his will. I can't disappear yet. He's probably the only one she could rely on, in order to support that lonely girl who insulted him, but still believed in him as her only reliance. Where am I? I don't know. It's so dark, I can't tell where I'm going, Berserker. With her vision taken away, the girl is crawling with her arms stretched out. She must want to feel him as she cannot see him now. Her hands covered in blood grope at empty space, trying to verify his existence. There's no power left in him. There's nothing he can do. Berserker will fall here and die here. His body has died, and he has no more strength to support his failing body. It's why I feel safe. No matter who it is, I won't lose against them as long as I have you, Berserker. But not this time. His mind is dead. Supporting his body with a mind and will that should no longer exist, he leaves this world. His body has not fallen, still invincible. As if to say his body cannot give up until the end for the sake of the girl that relies on him. And the girl reaches him. The hand that was only grasping the air finally touches something. Coughing up blood, the girl clings to the hard body. She cannot see anymore, but she can still feel him. Berserker hasn't lost. She cannot see for herself, but Berserker is strong, as always. I'm glad. Stay here. Okay, Berserker? Strength fades from her body. Everything hurts, and she's scared. But it's alright, as long as he's here. He always protected her. He was scary, but he was really nice. His big body is like a father's, so she really wanted him to pick her up, at least once. It's dark, but I'm not scared. You're strong, Berserker. I can be relieved if you stay like this. She rests her body on him. She feels him. She feels like a big hard hand is placed on her head. It's probably true. He should be patting her head if she opens her eyes. It's a bit cold. Her body is cold. Recalling the forest from that time, the girl laughs. It was a long time ago already. Recalling the giant that protected her, even while getting injured, she happily falls in Lucius' consciousness. Yeah, that's tragedy. I mean, from an action standpoint, the anime serves it better, but from an emotional standpoint, that hits really well. From an emotional standpoint. The man reaches out to the girl in white, who peacefully fell asleep. Shiro! Be quiet! Ilya just fell asleep, man! Jeez! Shiro Emiya has no consideration! Poor Ilya's been through a lot, and she just finally fell asleep, man. And now you're gonna yell and wake her up? For shame, Shiro. For shame. Stop, you bastard. He's yelling at the top of his lungs! I don't consider my own danger. What could happen to me? The man stops his arm that tried to extend. Behind him is Shinji, surprised at my intrusion. He smiles ominously. My shaky throat speaks before I can think. However, there's no way that man will stop. I couldn't even tell him to stop. The man pulled something out of the girl's body with his bare hands, a smile still on his face. A red, dripping object that looks like a fruit. The thing in the man's hand is, without a doubt, the girl in white's heart. My mind burns down. I lose my sanity as fear of being killed and hatred of wanting to kill him get muddled. So we had an audience. I understand how you want to observe my gallant figure, but the man still holding the red thing in his right hand. Know your place. Who do you think you are to order a king, you mongrel? He fires one of his countless noble phantasms at me. The terrace falls. The man's noble phantasm goes through the wall of the castle and destroys the hall's walls. I don't move a step in the midst of it all. I don't care about the rubble that falls from above. I press the button. I don't have the composure to run, and I have no intention to run. It doesn't matter whether a big piece of rubble grazes my back. I can't think of taking my eyes off the man right now. Oh, so it's Saber's master. His red eyes react to my enmity. My blood boils. I'll die in the next instant. There's no way I'm not afraid of that. But my body refuses to run away and keeps screaming to defeat that enemy right now. The corpse of the girl that was killed mercilessly keeps ordering me not to forgive him. It's only natural for me to lose all reasoning. My mind churns from the contradicting desires of life and death. You seem to have the will to fight, but it's no use talking about it. You're worthless without Saber. A sword appears in the man's left hand. The sword is raised mercilessly and should come down to kill me. Even then, I keep staring at the enemy. I can't think of showing my back to that man. Hold on, I know this guy. The man's sword stops. Shinji, who is watching from the other side of the wall, starts walking to the center of the hall with light steps. Hey, it's been a while, Emiya. I didn't expect to see you here, so I'm a bit surprised. The man doesn't move. There's about 10 meters between us. Would I be able to get near him? Even Berserker couldn't close this distance. Oh, are you so scared you can't even talk? Well, I understand how you feel. I was the same with Ryder. Yeah, that's right. Man, I'm glad you let me go that time, Emiya. There's nothing I can use as a weapon, but I don't care. My mind is clear right now. I don't feel any uneasiness about projecting his swords in this situation. Hey, I'm telling you to look over here. I slightly shift my gaze in his direction. I face Shinji while keeping the man in my vision. That's right, so you do know who the most important one here. Who's the most important one here? I gasp a little. It's not Shinji's words, but rather the unexpectedly serious manner in which he says them. So that's how it is, you do know, right, Emiya? You'll certainly die like this. How out of place. Why say something that's so obvious now? I didn't get to introduce him yet, but that's my new servant. He's more amazing than Ryder, right? Shinji puts his man over the other man's shoulders, and with a delighted face, beg for your life, Emiya. I might consider it. He says some nonsense. I refuse. I have no doubt. I answer right away without showing any hesitation or any signs of even considering it. Fine then, you can die. Shinji jumps back. The man, still with a cold expression, finally brings his raised sword down. That's it. I won't guarantee your master's life if you even move a finger an inch, you servant. Then the man stops his sword again. Everyone looks up. Everyone in the hall turns their attention to the girl standing at the terrace. Tosaka's hand is facing towards Shinji. Even though Shinji doesn't have the aptitude as a mage, he should know what that means. She's serious. If that man brings down his sword, she'll kill Shinji as retaliation. Why are you here? She doesn't answer, but keeps her aim aligned on Shinji. What, are you really gonna shoot me, you murderer? That's rich coming from you, Shinji. You're the one who killed first. Well, whichever it is, it doesn't matter. Shinji, the right to kill and to be killed are the same. You should instinctively understand that as a human, even if you're not a mage. Excuse me. Shinji weakly retreats, being glared down by Tosaka. At that, the guy is watching in delight. He looks at Tosaka as if to belittle her. Then, I feel like there was a strange vibration that took over the hall for an instant. I see. You know you'll not be able to defeat me, so you want to go after my master instead. You brought that on the negotiation because you know that I wouldn't stop even if you killed my master. That's right. You wouldn't stop even if Shinji dies, but you can consider it in this situation, right? You can save Shinji right now. You're a servant, so it should be hard. Should be a hard blow to lose your master. I see. You're pretty quick-witted. That's the only negotiation if you want to save that mongrel. The sword disappears. He turns his back to me as if he lost interest in me. What are you doing? Who told you to stop? No, the situation changed, Shinji. She'll be perfect as a vessel. Huh? Shinji's breath stops. His face is filled with irritation suddenly turns into a dirty smile. I see. Man, I'm glad you're alive, Tosaka. Really, I'm relieved as well. I've known you for a long time, even if you're like that. I would be disheartened if you died somewhere. Laughing happily, Shinji claps his hands. It's strange. He shows no fear even though Tosaka can end his life. It's like an overwhelming joy is numbing his emotions. Oh well, that aside, how about this, Tosaka? Why don't you forget about Emi and team up with us? Us. That's right, you also know how Caster is stalking up power, right? The Ryoto Temple is the altar this time. It's a bit unfavorable for us if she's taking position there and stocking up on magical energy. He says this with both arms raised. But that's an obvious fact. On top of that, it seems like he doesn't know about how Caster obtains Saber and Archer. See? You can tell, right? The chance of victory is slim by myself. I beat Berserker's Master, but this isn't enough. We can make something that can even beat Caster if you care to join us. He invites her with confidence. To that, I refuse, Shinji. I don't know who you're connected with, but I have no reason to follow a guy that is obviously being used. She refuses him without twitching a brow. What? Can't you tell? I'm warning you since I've known you for a long time. But you should get the intelligence to observe what's going on around you. You're the only person that thinks Shinji Matao is a master. Don't you realize by now you don't have talent as a mage? You. Shinji's face twitches. Her hard words made him forget that his life is in her hands. Do it, Gilgamesh. Kill Emiya and Tosaka. Shinji orders his own servant. What? I told you to kill them. It should be easy for you to kill them before I get killed. No, unfortunately, you're out of time. It'll rot if we let it be any longer. The man shows Shinji who's closing in on him, the thing in his right hand. A red lump. It's a thing he took out of the girl, and it's still throbbing. Shinji grits his teeth in vexation. Damn, don't regret it, Tosaka. I won't be letting you on my side now. He runs towards the front entrance. There's only one person left. After the man slowly watches his master being angry. So that's it. You have a good friend. He says delightfully and leaves the hall filled with rubble. And we walk towards her, the center of the hall. With gray sunlight coming from the ceiling, the girl is sleeping, covered in rubble. Her eyes don't open. Looking up close, the girl is not white at all. She's covered in red and looks nothing like before. It's not your fault, Emiya. You know, right? We couldn't have saved her. I know. I've been taught that there are people I can save and people can't save. I knew that I would be putting my own life in danger if I tried to do things that are beyond my capability. But still, I still wanted to save her. I don't want a child to die. She's older than you, Shiro! I don't want anyone dying in front of me. Asking for help? Not being able to save someone asking for help is more scary and painful than anything. There's no way I can apologize, and I don't know her well enough to apologize either. The girl has nothing to do with me. I understand that without having to be told, but why? Why are these eyes crying? Irrelevant tears. It's because you technically just watched your sister get murdered, even if you didn't know that. Why? Why? You knew you were going to be killed if you went at him. So why'd you try to save Ilya? No matter what the results may be, she was an enemy. So how can you go so far for her sake? Did she seriously just ask me that? Her eyes were serious. I have no reason. I stopped him because I wanted to save her. There's no other way to explain it. After she glares at me. I see. I thought you were abnormal before, but now I'm sure. The way you live is really distorted. She tries to open the lid that I've been keeping closed the whole time. Distorted? That's right. It's wrong to live thinking that others are more important than yourself. Look, I'm not talking about the common opinion that people save others so they can be loved. Setting that hypocrisy aside, human beings have to put themselves first. Of course there are people with others as their priority, but first of all, you're something special that can't be put on a scale. You're like the skill itself, but you're trying to break that skill and help others you don't even know. Yes, that's fine. If you're a human that doesn't have a sense of self and is merely living, then that's fine. But you do have a sense of self. You can't neglect yourself when you have a strong sense of self-awareness. If you keep on doing that, you're going to eventually break down. No way. I can't break down. In fact, I do this in order not to. I try to save people that I couldn't save so that I can hold my head high. No, you're broken already. So tell me, I don't know what happened 10 years ago, but that must be the cause of why you're screwed up. She seems like she's got tears in her eyes. Why is she making such a face? It's almost as if she knows that I'm going to spend my life trying to help others without getting anything in return, so she's trying to earnestly stop me. It was like that at school too. You were super calm in front of that many bodies. Even I mistook them for dead bodies, but you were able to tell that they were alive with just one glance. I always thought that was strange. You never even had formal training as a mage, but you were able to calm yourself down every time you got into a fight to the death. Even if you got enraged by seeing corpses, you never had any aversion towards the corpses themselves. That must be because you were used to seeing people's deaths. You saw something gruesome 10 years ago, right? Used to seeing. Yeah, it's not like that was my first time seeing them. I think about the students who were on the floor at school. Ryder, who was unrecognizable by the time she died, and the girl sleeping in front of us now. To me, the people who died in that incident from 10 years ago are the only ones who went through inhuman deaths. Oh, Shiro, Emiya. Shiro, Emiya. You are something, aren't you? But that's wrong. The fire from 10 years ago saved me. That cannot be the cause of why Tosaka is criticizing me now. No, Tosaka. That's not it. I was saved. That's all. Saved? So you were saved from that fire 10 years ago, and that was by Kiritsugu Emiya. Yeah, that's right. But that's it. That isn't the cause for anything. My heart aches when I answer. My body is telling me that it's a lie. Then was there something else? Something you always regretted? You're always regretting, or anything Kiritsugu Emiya took away from you in compensation for saving you? There was no such thing. He just saved me, and there was nothing to be taken from me. I shouldn't have said anything then. I saw many corpses. I died at that time and was reborn. I don't have repentances about the path I took. My eyes lost their hatred. My hands lost their anger. My feet lost their hope. Again, Shiro, feet do not hope. And I lost myself there. So why? How did I get the strong sense of self-awareness that Tosaka speaks of? That is, I had just accepted death. Knew that I was going to die. Even though my body was saved from such a situation, there's no way my mind could have been saved as well. At that time, I just admired something precious, still empty inside. Oh, that's right. I remember now. No, I didn't even put it in my memory. That's why I didn't even realize until now that's what really saved me. So did he make you sign some contract or something? No, he didn't take anything away from me. I only received. A world like hell, in a place where every person except for me died. I was saved. Nobody saved me, and I wasn't able to save anyone. In my final moments, he granted me something I thought was a miracle. I remember his eyes that peered into mine, and his voice pleading for me to live. On the verge of death, I thought not about how I was saved, but the fact that someone was there to save me. Such a wonderful miracle. That's why I admired it. I had nothing left, not a single thing. That's why I ended up admiring the figure that appeared right before my eyes. That's why I only had that. That's the only emotion I had while being saved. I was happy. I cried. That's all I could think about. So that's the only emotion I could create. Yeah, you're probably right. It's twisted to prioritize others over myself. There's something seriously wrong with the procedure. But I'm the only one who was saved. I thought about it at that time. That if such a thing happened again, I need to save everyone in a place of all those that I couldn't save them. I'm telling you, that's crazy. Look, if you were saved, take care of yourself. I'm sorry for those who died, but it's just a coincidence that you were the only one saved. Then appreciate your luck. You suffered that much, so it would be a waste if you didn't have fun. She's seriously angry. Yeah, that makes me really happy. I finally realize now, since she's that kind of person. The question I've been wondering about all by myself. I wanted to become a hero of justice, so I always tried to help others. I noticed there was something wrong with that method, but I couldn't understand what. But that became clear so easily, thanks to the person who gets seriously angry for my sake. What, do you still not get it even after saying this much? You really make me mad. You're really that dumb that I'm gonna break off our... No, I get it. I said that you're right. Then... But I can't listen to your warning. There's something wrong with me, but it's fine. Because there's no way that wanting to be of help to someone can be a mistake. So, I answer with as much gratitude as I can. Jeez, I can't say anything if you make a face like that. Tosaka must have felt awkward as she turns her back to me and walks away. And then... Oh, it can't be helped. I guess I'll do something about it for you. She takes a deep sigh and complains. The sun sets. We return to the hall by the time the gray sky is tinted a crimson color. The girl's corpse is not on the mountain of rubble. Tosaka and I just buried her in the courtyard. Perhaps because that was what happens to servants, the black giant's remains had withered into sand. But even if it was just sand, we still buried it in the same coffin as the girl. Well, do you have any ideas on what to do now? No mention of the maids. Did the maids just get obliterated, I guess? I mean, I guess Shiro and Rin don't know that Ilya has maids, so... Poor Setla and Lazrit, I think was their name. I'm thinking. The situation got worse again. I have to sort things out a bit. Yeah, our strongest enemies, Ilya and Berserker, are gone, but some weird guy appeared instead. There should only be 7 servants summoned, but he makes 8, right? He doesn't look like a servant that exists, but I wonder how Shinji made a contract with such a guy. The 8th servant, huh? I don't think that man who Shinji brought along can be treated as a servant. A heroic spirit that absolutely dominates other heroic spirits. He has a seemingly endless supply of noble phantasms and is a demon without any human emotion. He's the hero who appears in ancient Mesopotamian myths, right? Yes, the half-god, half-human hero, the king of Uruk and the seeker of immortality. He's said to have been a tyrant who ruled everything in his world, but I didn't think he was that crazy. He defeated Berserker easily, so he might be stronger than Saber even with her full powers unleashed. Her voice doesn't sound sharp. It doesn't seem like it's because the new enemy that appeared is tough. What's wrong, Tosaka? You seem like you want to say something. Yeah, kinda. He was strong. He has that many noble phantasms, so his power is first class, right? Excuse me. But I was wondering how it actually is. I don't feel much of a difference between him and Berserker. She ponders. Wait. Does she not realize how strong he is? No, he himself is as strong as Saber or Berserker, if not weaker. First of all, the strength of a heroic spirit depends how famous they are in their territory, right? There aren't that many people here who know about Gilgamesh. It's true, but the change in ability based on popularity isn't that big. Right. Tell that to Cuchulainn, who, if he was summoned in Ireland, would get like 3 extra noble phantasms. It seemed to me like Goldie is breaking the rules. She's calling him by a strange nickname. Well, that aside, he did. All the noble phantasms he had were real. No, they must be the original weapons that the noble phantasms are based on. He's the hero of the oldest myth and a king who indulged in every possible luxury. If that's the case, it's no wonder he possesses all the originals that are the basis of myths from every land. What were the noble phantasms that he used? Not noble phantasms, but just weapons? I'd assume so. His noble phantasm itself is most likely his warehouse. His warehouse where he kept all the treasures he collected when he was alive as his noble phantasm. I see, then his natural berserker couldn't beat him. Heroic spirits each have their weak point. If he has some of the originals of all noble phantasms, then he can just bring out the one that his opponent's weak point. That's right. If there's a chance of victory, it would be that he has not fully mastered each weapon yet. It may not be a... If he's not a bearer that can master his own weapon to its full potential like Saber or Lancer, then I feel like there's still a way to win. All that aside. This has nothing to do with anything, but why is he a Goldie? Oh, well, you know, he had golden hair. What are you saying? Then you've called Saber that too? Goldie? It sounded like there was a lot... You said it with a lot of meaning behind it. I think you said it because you noticed something else, right? Don't hide it now. You noticed something, right, Tosaka? You're wrong. It's nothing serious like what you noticed, so don't pry so much. Yeah, right. You wouldn't call him Goldie for nothing. Come on, spit it out, Tosaka. I want as much information as possible right now. I stare at her. After a few seconds, she must have given up as she lets out a big sigh. Well, that is, he had a lot of things that were expensive, right? So I thought he was really rich. That's why I called him Goldie. That Goldie looks like he's living a luxurious life, right? She scratches her cheek as she looks off to the distance, laughing uncomfortably. How scary. It seems like anyone rich is considered a Goldie to Tosaka. And what's more scary is that Tosaka was able to tell that servant's true nature just because he seemed rich. Anyway, that's another troublesome guy. It's already bad that there is an 8th servant, but he himself is the Joker. Even if he wanted to question Kiri as the supervisor, he's missing. Well, Caster's more important right now, so we'll have to put it off till later. That's right. Caster's storing more power as we speak. Saber, who's resisting Caster's control, won't be able to defy her any longer. No. In the worst case, there's a possibility that even Saber is on the enemy's side now. Yeah, we couldn't get Ilya's help, but that doesn't mean we can't let her be. At this point, we should think of a way to defeat Caster with just the 2 of us. Yeah, I don't have any ideas, but that's all we can do. Yeah, such a shame. Really, like, what parent doesn't tell their child? I mean, even Sakura saw Zerker-lot, I'm pretty positive. Mind you, she was a little bit in the first stages of mind break at that point, but still. She sighs and sits down on the rubble. Man, I didn't think we'd be having a strategy meeting in a castle. I follow her lead and sit down. Well, we'll be able to stay warm here at night. We might even be able to find the magic items Ilya had. And the moment we let our guard down... Don't worry, don't do it. You're gonna defeat them just by yourselves? That's impossible, you fools. A fed-up voice echoes from the front entrance. We jump to our feet right away and face the front. Since that night, huh? Great to see you both hanging in there. Lancer. I quickly concentrate and connect my magic circuit. The man that appeared is definitely Lancer. He speared my heart that night 10 days ago. I can't let that happen again. I need to at least let Tosaka escape before he swings that spear. Get away, I'll distract him so you run away to the 2nd floor. I'll hold him back so you run outside. Hold on. Seems like you weren't listening at all when I told you to value yourself. She lowers her left hand that she had pointed at Lancer and points it at me. But even if she threatens me like that, I also have complaints. Don't be ridiculous. I refuse, saying I wouldn't listen to your warnings. It's my role to do fistfights. This is my second time fighting him, so I'm more suited to it than you. Yeah, right? He's a foot soldier. How can I, the ranged attacker, run away from an enemy without ranged weapons? That's why. Can't you tell it's over if he gets close to you? It's fine. Just back me up from a distance. Yet I can't back you up. Unfortunately, I don't know any mage craft that's precise. It's obvious I'm going to blow you away along with him. Don't come out with that destructive trait of yours. You know, if Ku was really serious here, he could skewer these two while they are arguing. First of all, why do you always try to be so flashy? Try doing something modest for a change. You really can't brush off what Caster said when she said she didn't need you. What? And we argue for a few minutes trying to push it. Oh gosh, a few minutes of arguing in front of an enemy. Just about when we start to wonder how this gets started and how to get tired. We notice Lancer observing us with a smile at the entrance of the castle. Oh, you done already? I'm in no hurry, so go ahead and finish. You should let out all your complaints. Yeah, he definitely had an amused expression there. I cough in regret and just glare at Lancer. Take a half step forward and she's slightly behind me. Jeez, there wouldn't be a problem if we had been like this from the start. Hold on, I'm sorry to say this after you've reached an agreement, but I'm not here to fight. I just couldn't ignore you guys. I came to butt in so that I can help you guys out a bit. What? Hold on. What did he just say? Did I mishear you? It sounded like you just said you'd help out. Oh, was it hard to understand? But I guess I'll rephrase it. You two are no match for Caster since you guys can't beat her. I'm saying I'll give you a hand. My eyes widen, but Tosaka quickly grasps the situation. Yeah, you really are butting in, Lancer, but let me ask you this. Is that really your idea? No, it's my master's orders. He wants someone to cooperate against since Caster he's alone. Well, we're just making an alliance until we defeat them. That's a decent reason, but if that's the case, there's a more reliable guy than us. Is she talking about Shinji and Gilgamesh? Tosaka seems to be trying to find out whether Lancer knows about Shinji. No, that won't do. I don't want to ally with them. I have no complaints about his power, but it's bothersome having to constantly worry about my back. That's the correct choice, Lancer. But is that also your master's order? That's wrong as well. I chose you guys out of my interest. It's easier to reach a conclusion when we're acquaintances, right? He says casually. It seems like fighting Archer and stabbing me in the heart are the same as becoming acquaintances in his mind. Hold on, Lancer. I was almost killed by you twice, yet you think I'm gonna trust your words? Shiro, you trusted Shinji for less, man. I do. Your commander-in-chief is a good, frank woman. Such a good woman is helping you out, so you must be a curious, good-natured person, too, right? Exactly. Men bond with fist fights. Or stabbing each other, in Q's case. So. I frown unintentionally. I'm troubled that Tosaka, who's supposed to be my ally, is nodding at Lancer's words. So that's it. That's why I thought we could cooperate. Now, let me tell you, it's not you guys, but it's not you guys. I'm the one who thought you guys can cooperate with me. I honestly can't tell the difference in the way he reworded it. That's some confidence you have. You brought the proposal, yet you're going to choose? Yeah, I liked you from the first time I saw you. You're beautiful, stubborn, and brave. If I'm gonna have a female master, I want one like you. Lancer looks at Tosaka with cool eyes. I don't like him for some reason. Shiro jealous. Don't worry, Shiro. He's just salty that he lost Bazette. I do hope we get to see that dynamic a little bit more in Hollow Atraxia. Fine, I'm up for it, but it's not decided yet. If I can't trust you, then we'll have to break off negotiations. You heard her. Well, you do, kid. Your character's being tested. Lancer looks at me, trying to suppress his laughter. My answer is... Ooh. Multi-choice here. How close are we to the end of the day? What does the flowchart say? I didn't have a choice here. Okay, so I didn't have a choice here, which tells me that if I did not have a high enough affection with Reen, I would be getting this lower option here. Because that's what these kind of branching things tend to be. If I had a lower opinion with Rin, then I would have been stuck with this option. Also, we are very much close to the end of it. And while this does say it's an affection option, given that all the choices do tend to go, like, in order here, whatever the bottom one is will likely link up with this one. Which I feel like is probably a bad end. And I am a seeker of bad ends. So, thanks for the offer, Ku, but no thanks. I refuse. I can't trust you. It's not only Lancer. I don't want to go along with the ulterior motive of Lancer's master, whose identity is still unknown and is offering to help at this particular time. I see. That's what your partner's saying, but what about you, young lady? You said you would go along with this plan? My plan doesn't change. If I can't trust you, then it's meaningless to cooperate with you. I see. You're right. This is really disappointing. You really were my type. Lancer turns away. His blue back doesn't look back at all as he disappears like the wind just as he appeared. The sun is setting and the lobby slowly wrapped in darkness. We came to the castle to find an ally, but the only thing remaining is the ruins of a castle after the turn of events. So what should we do? I think we can stay here and strengthen our defense without attacking. We have food and we can stay warm here. If we fix the walls, we can manage to protect ourselves in the castle. That's the best thing to do if we want to protect ourselves, but we even gain an ally to choose the path to fight because we couldn't do so. No, it'd be meaningless if we strengthened our defense. Any defense would be broken once Caster completely controls Saber. Even if we do survive here, if the Holy Grail becomes Caster's, then not only us, but the people in this town will suffer as well. And there's only one thing to do. We'll get Saber back before Caster fully controls her. We have to defeat Caster, Archer, Assassin, and Mr. Kuzuki by ourselves. I nod silently. Since we couldn't get the help of Ilya, we have to do this by ourselves. The sun will completely set soon. We'll have to get out of this place before that and attack Caster before Saber surrenders. Wait, what? It doesn't... Did I choose the right path by accident? Wait. Hold up. Okay, no, this is not... Okay. I thought that It says day 14, but we've not actually hit day 14 yet. Okay. Also, day 12, day 13, 12, 13. Yeah, they messed up a little bit there. So yeah, I was right. This leads to this, so this is probably a dead end, is my guess. So I'm going to keep playing this out. It's a simple plan. The process will change depending on the situation. Our only objective is to confront Caster as a result. It doesn't matter whether the situation is only for an instant. Caster is the weakest servant when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Even if she may be a servant, we have a chance of winning if we can fight her 2 against 1. Her gem's my projection. It's not a battle we can't win if we make full use of our individual powers. That was the conclusion we reached, and we go out into the forest believing that. We don't exchange words after that. There's one reason. We're desperately bluffing so we can deceive ourselves. The sunrise is gray. Sunlight is blocked by the clouds, obscuring the light of dawn. A cloudy sky is above us. That sky is closer to gray than black reminds me of the time 10 years ago. Excuse me. Is it going to start raining soon? A dull white sky, That man was standing under the cloudy sky that smelled like it had just stopped raining. So you did come. I know your personality. I thought you would come back with some kind of strategy. He stares at Tosaka with cool eyes. I'm sorry, Archer. I can't live up to those expectations. As you can see, we're empty-handed. We brainstormed for a whole day, but we couldn't come up with any plan. What? You might not believe me, but we came here to die an honorable death. But it looks like we have a bit of luck left. If you're here, that means Saber is still going against Caster. Then there are 4 opponents. If we break through Archer the Gatekeeper, we can fight Caster and Assassin head-on. Our plan is to break through Archer together and confront Caster with the 2 of us. That's the lie Tosaka made up. I see. Caster and Shiro Emiya. The scale tipped Caster, huh, Reen? Archer's a pressing question. Yes, I hate my own personality, but I can't change it since I'm born with it. I'm inhuman when it counts most of all. Tosaka answers with an emotionless voice and steps forward. Archer will only attack you. I won't back you up, I'll fight Caster while you get killed. As if that's a crime. She apologizes with her back as if she's intending to use me as a sacrifice from the start. How stupid of her. She didn't have to say such a thing. Don't worry about it, idiot. I also know your personality. Tosaka, it's your principle not to do anything that you don't have a chance of winning at, right? That's why I knew. This is certainly the only way we can win. Her back doesn't have any hesitation. She said just slightly. Oh. That's all the apology I need. Go. I'll hold Archer down. I'll hold him down even if it's with will, at least until you get inside the church. I control my breathing and turn the gears of my engine. My condition is better than ever. I can project the same swords as him right away in this state. Thanks. Sorry, Shiro. She runs. He lets her go as if she was not in his sight from the start. Well done, it seems like you understand your powers even while being incompetent. He admits the intent to kill as if to say he won't let me go this time. I project the twin swords. This match should be made in an instant. The only things in my sight are Archer and Tosaka's back running to the church. Was it over in one blow, or was I able to hold out a few times? The battle ends, and I look up at the sky with a limp body. A gray color covers the sky. It should start raining soon. The cloudy sky is close, and the clouds block my hands like a wall. Please, be safe. My body is burning. I hear the faint sound of flames from the church. The sun is too far away for my powerless extended hand. That sky was as if I was back to that time, 10 years ago. Dead end. I knew it. It was a deception to give us the save there. A deception. I wonder if there's going to be any comment about the fact that Ilya's dead. Alright, even though people have said this is Tiger Dojo is meaningless, it's already the 23rd one. Well, this is sudden, but it's the last Tiger Dojo of Part 2. Really? Huh. That's surprising. Master, according to the schedule, it looks like we have one more practice in Part 2. Or not. Oh, Taiga. Trying to make me second guess. Or actually trying to make me... What's the right phrase here? Oh, Taiga. Trying to deceive me. That's the words I was looking for. Don't talk about the 24th one. I have no business with a weakling that will reach a dead end like that. Yes, ma'am. I don't really get it, but this is the last Tiger Dojo of Part 2 in reality? That's right. There was a rumor on the last Tiger Dojo in Part 1 that this corner would be powered up from Part 2, but I won't be falling for something like that this time. The dojo will stay like this, and I will preserve the small paradise operated modestly by me and my first student. Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna get betrayed. Could this devil child be scheming something again? Oh, that's a misunderstanding. I'm just thinking that I might make you feel lonely since I won't be able to keep you company in the Part 3 like I have been. You can't come to the dojo. Could it be Ilya? Yeah, I saw you busy taking part in the main storyline. It ended up like this in the Reen route, but Part 3 is where my true worth comes out. In other words, it seems like you'll be appearing less in the main story. My condolences. This will be the difference in status between a heroine candidate and one who is not even considered to be a candidate. Well, I'll still be friends with you even if I become a heroine, so don't worry. When I take over the main storyline, I can at least make you my servant. What was that for? I was saying this out of goodwill. I don't need it. I don't need love if it's this painful. Actually, you're disqualified from being my student. You're too bright to look directly if you become a heroine. Get out. Get out. I'm quitting as well. Stupid Taiga. I won't forgive you even if you apologize. She's gone. Well, this is fate. If my cute student can make a comeback as a heroine, then it's also my role as her master to be hated. Fight Ilya. Go after Sakura and take her spot as a heroine. Don't come back here. You're going to take some of my roles. But it's lonely doing the last Tiger Dojo Part 2 by myself. It's lonely, but I'll do my best. Fight the good fight, soldier. I'll hold down the fort. Well, this dead end is a bit special. It's too reckless for Miss Tosaka and Shiro to fight themselves. There's no way they can win. I know you may harbor a grudge, but go ahead and shake friends. Shake hands with that ally that appeared. And for those of you who didn't even have an ally appear, you're a failure as the main character. How can you not save a girl that's dying in front of you? Not save a girl that's dying... Oh, so that's if you don't... Okay. So if you don't yell at Gilgamesh to stop, that's not an affection choice from Rin. Okay, I see. The events of the castle are an important episode that reveals a certain cause that's been hidden until now, so you must pass through it. Miss Tosaka's route is the main character route in a way, so go ahead and solve the problem. Well, this is it. Miss Tosaka's route is entering its climax. There'll be a series of hectic events without a dead end after this, but let me give you some good news. Her route has a true end and a good end prepared. I can't say what they're about, but the condition for how they branch is how earnest you are. If it's only one lady on each arm, If it's only one or a lady on each arm, you get to find out after the battle. Alright everyone, I'll be waiting in part 3 of Tiger Dojo. There's totally a part 24, so I look forward to seeing what that is. Alright, Lancer, we're buddies now. Well, you have to accept his offer. Even if he is an enemy, his argument is correct. Tosaka and I alone can't beat Caster, but there should be some hope if we have Lancer's help. Alright, I also don't have any complaints. I turn off the magic circuit connected to my whole body and relax my shoulders. That's the most sincere I can do. I have no intention to fight. The expression of my will that as long as we are cooperating, I can defensively show my back to him. I see. This is seriously bad. You must be going through a lot of trouble, young lady. You can tell. I'm glad I finally met someone who understands. I was afraid that things might stay like this until the very end. That's unfortunate, but he's not bad for a guy. When you're a kid, you can be stupid as a fool. You can learn stuff and get twisted after that. Lancer answers and walks toward us. There's no scarlet-covered spear in his hand. As if in response to my disarming, he too laid his arms down. We walk in the forest at night. Although we don't know what his intentions are, having Lancer's cooperation now means we don't have to stay at the castle. He must have taken a liking to her, as he keeps messing with her and getting hit by her. Hey, you have your own master, right? Then you should stay quiet. We're going back to the being enemies once we defeat Caster, so it does no good to be talking, right? Anything other than the strategy meeting is unnecessary. What, we can't talk because we're going to be enemies? You have less composure than it looks, huh? It should be natural for you to sit down and have heart-to-heart with someone you get along with, even if they're your enemy. What era are you from? The kind of I'll kill you tomorrow but we're friends today stuff is out of style nowadays. You need to be thorough with it if you're going to do it, or else it's going to be rude to the other party. Wow, sure has become a boring world. Gilgamesh would agree. Lancer never learns. Feel like they've been repeating the same kind of conversation for a while now. More importantly, Lancer, you know what your role is, right? Yeah, I'll lead the way. You two are going to fight Caster and her master, right? My role is fight Archer. I'll have to do something about Saber as well in the worst case scenario. But it should be no problem if I just have to hold them down. Lancer speaks objectively. He isn't even scared of fighting both Saber and Archer at the same time. Come to think of it, Saber told me when we were training in the dojo She said that he is the best amongst servants when it comes to just surviving. She praised him, saying he had excellent agility and plenty of plentiful combat experience, and that he would be an impregnable defense if he went into the defense. He must have fought many battles from a disadvantageous position when he was alive. The aloof man must be a heroic spirit who ran through the jaws of death many times and survived. That's fine, but Archer and Saber aren't the only enemies. There's also Assassin under Caster. That means you have 3 opponents in the worst case. Yeah, that's bad. I really don't like that guy. I don't want to fight that guy one-on-one if possible. It's best to finish off a guy like that from afar, but... oh, no need to worry. Assassin won't show up to the church. Huh? How can you say so? If Caster's not going back to Ryoto Temple, then won't she call for Assassin as a guard? No, Assassin's a servant that Caster summoned, but there are limitations because of that. He's a heroic spirit that was summoned to that place itself. You can't leave Ryoto Temple, and in any case, Caster won't call for him. That thing is a servant Caster summoned without telling her master. She'll hide it as long as her master is at the church, and she won't let go of Ryoto Temple so easily either. She won't let go of Ryoto Temple. So that means... because that mountain is the summoning place of the Holy Grail. Did you know? This is the 5th Holy Grail, but there's only 4 possible places where the Holy Grail can be summoned. 2 of those places are Ryoto Temple and the church. By the way, it was summoned at the church in the 3rd war, and the 4th one was summoned in a plain somewhere. I thought you were just happy as long as you're fighting, but you're quite knowledgeable. My master just happens to be a bit difficult. It's not like I'm interested in your circumstances. Alright, then this time's summoning place is the same place as the first, huh? She mumbles while she ponders. Lancer watches her with delight and walks on in the dark forest. It's deep into the night, and the date has long since changed. Dawn should be breaking by the time we get out of this forest and return to town. I mentally prepare myself as I walk. I'll challenge Caster one more time in a few hours. I won't hesitate even if that girl has become our enemy by then. We'll defeat Caster. I'll have to accept that that's the top priority now. We head to the battlefield. No matter what awaits for us at the church at daybreak, we can't stop now. Except we are going to stop right now, because that is all of day 13, and it's taken a couple hours to do. So I think that is an excellent point to call tonight's stream of FSN Remaster. As for when the next part comes out, it kind of depends, because if the summer event drops literally 1 week from now, then I might be doing FGO on Friday. If we get a preemptive announcement, like over the weekend, that, hey, you might want to watch out because there's going to be a, thing coming up here. There's going to be an event dropping here on this coming Friday, so you might want to watch out. Then I might, stream FSN earlier. I don't know. I'll figure things out. But for now, I have been Soul Dragon. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out the channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games, plenty of content to enjoy. Follow on Twitch, like the video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, join the Discord down below. And that's kind of all I can think about right now. So, once again, thank you all so much for coming out. Hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.